The patrol ship TSS Horizon floated through the silence of deep space. Its mission was routine: scan the edges of Terran territory, check trade routes, and watch for pirates.
Ow.
The crew had done this 100 times. Space was quiet out here. Too quiet. Commander Rhea stood on the bridge sipping recycled coffee when the first sound came. Not from the comms, not from the engines, but from the long-range signal array. A soft beep, then another, then a single tone that did not belong to any Terran frequency. Lieutenant Armin frowned at his console. Commander, we're getting a transmission, not human, and not from any known trade partner. Rhea set her mug down. Play it. A burst of static filled the bridge. Then a low, trembling voice spoke in a strange, harsh language. It was broken, urgent, and frayed. The AI translator kicked in, struggling with each word. Some came out clear. Others were guesses. They are coming. Do not resist. Hide, the humans. Silence followed. Then the signal cut off.
Ow.
Bridge crew exchanged uneasy looks. Even the AI paused, almost as if it didn't like what it had heard. Location? Rhea asked. Signals coming from an uncharted system near the Dead Star V-19. Armin replied. Coordinates locked. Dead stars were bad news, lightless, cold, and usually graveyards for ships. But Rhea gave the order anyway. The Dead Star hours later, Horizon emerged from FTL into the shadow of V-19. There it was, the source of the signal, a massive cargo vessel drifting without power. Its hull was scarred and burned, like it had been in a battle. Or something worse. No life signs, reported Ensign Malik, scanning from the bridge. Wait, correction. One faint reading could be a life pod, or someone on the ship. The cargo vessel loomed larger on the view screen, its alien design unfamiliar. Its metal was a dull green, marked with symbols none of them recognized. Rhea's gut told her to turn around. Instead, she ordered, "Boarding team, gear up." Boarding the ghost ship, the docking clamps connected with a heavy shudder. The airlock opened with a hiss, releasing a faint metallic smell and something else. Blood. The boarding team moved in, lights cutting through the darkness. The corridors were twisted, scorched, panels sparked weakly.
Mouse.
Body. It was alien tall, insect-like, with 4 arms and pale gray plating over its chest. Its eyes were glassy. The wounds were strange, not from bullets or lasers, more like crushed from the inside. Commander whispered Sergeant. Voss, there's more. And there were dozens. Lying in corners, slumped over consoles, sprawled on the floor, all dead. All with the same strange injuries. Malik shined his light ahead. Medical bay's down here. It's inside. Among more bodies was a single survivor, small compared to the others, wearing a torn uniform with gold markings. The aliens. Breathing was shallow. Still alive, Voss confirmed. Barely. The return to Horizon, they brought the survivor aboard the Horizon, sealing the airlock behind them. The med team rushed the alien to the infirmary, placing it under a scanner. Dr. Imani frowned at the readings. This species biology is odd. 2 hearts, multiple neural clusters. And look at this. Brain activity is high, but irregular. They might be in shock. Rhea stood at the foot of the bed. Can you wake them? Maybe. But they're badly dehydrated, malnourished, and terrified. Terrified of what?
Rhea.
Didn't like where her thoughts were going. Waking. Hours later, Rhea was called back to the infirmary. The alien's eyes were open now, large, dark, and darting around the room like it was searching for something. Dr. Imani spoke gently. "Can you understand me?" No reply. The alien's gaze locked on Rhea instead. Then, suddenly, it began, speaking not in the alien tongue from before, but in perfect, flawless English. "You must hide your humans." The room went still. Rhea took a step closer. "What did you say?" The alien grabbed her sleeve with surprising strength. His voice trembled, but the words were clear. "They know you are here. They are coming. Hide your humans, before it is too late." Before anyone could ask who they were, the alien convulsed, monitor spiking. Medics rushed in, trying to stabilize it. And then, the lights flickered. The ship's sensors blared an alarm. Multiple unknown ships had just entered the system. Suspense end. Rhea stared at the glowing red icons on the tactical display. The ships were closing fast. She glanced back at the alien on the bed, now unconscious again. Whatever was coming, they weren't here for the Horizon. They were here for the humans. The hunters arrived. The Horizon's bridge was chaos. Red alert lights bathed the walls. The deep hum of the ship's reactors shifted as the engines went to full combat readiness. "Multiple ships inbound," Armin reported, his voice tight. 17, no, 21 signatures. They're fast. "Any ID?" Rhea asked. He shook his head. "Not in our database. Hull shapes are predatory. No official markings." Predatory. The word hung in the air like a cold wind. The alien's warning down in the infirmary. Dr. Imani worked over the alien survivor. The medbay trembled as the Horizon adjusted course. The alien stirred again, its breathing ragged. "Hey." Too late, it whispered. "They will take the humans first. Always first." Imani leaned in. "Who are they? What do they want?" The alien's eyes rolled back, and its hands clenched. "Not want, need. Without humans, they die." Then it went limp, slipping back into unconsciousness. The shadow. Fleet on the view screen, the unknown ships broke formation, spreading like wolves around prey. Their hulls were black, jagged, and uneven, as though built from scavenged wreckage. Glowing red slits ran along their sides, pulsing like the gills of some deep-sea predator. "They're locking sensors on us," Malik said. "Weapons not charged." Yet, Rhea frowned. "Not attacking." "No," Armin said, "just circling." The sight was worse than a direct assault, like the alien fleet was studying them. Strange transmission suddenly. The comms lit up. An unfamiliar voice filled the bridge, smooth and cold, speaking in perfect Terran standard. "We know you have them." Rhea's knuckles whitened on the armrest. "Have who?" "The humans." Her breath caught. "This is a human vessel. Not you, the others, the ones from the dead ship." The crew exchanged sharp glances. How did they know about the boarding? Had they been tracking the cargo vessel all along? The first move commander, Malik, whispered, "Look at this." On the tactical screen, one of the black ships drifted closer, slowly, deliberately. Its hull opened like the jaws of an animal, revealing rows of faintly glowing spines. "They're scanning us," Armin confirmed.
But it's nice."
"They're trying to map every life form on board." Rhea's mind raced. If what the survivor said was true, these things weren't here for weapons or data. They were here for people. She made her decision fast. Block their scans. And put us on silent running. No emissions. No active comms. The lights dimmed as the Horizon went dark. Only the quiet hum of life support remained. The trap, it didn't work. The lead enemy ship broke formation and moved in faster. The others tightened. The ring. "They're hurting us," Malik said. "Into what?" Rhea asked. A sudden beeping answered her question. The navigational display lit up behind the fleet. A faint distortion in space was growing. It wasn't a planet. It wasn't a station. It was something alive. Back to the survivor, Rhea rushed to the infirmary, where Dr. Imani had just injected the alien with a stimulant. The creature's eyes flew open in terror. "They found us," it gasped. "The Maw will take your ship. It will take the humans. No walls will stop it."
Yeah.
Rhea gripped the railing beside the bed. "Tell me what they are." The alien's voice dropped to a trembling whisper. "They are the harvesters. They are death for all. But to them, humans are worth more than worlds. The horizon trembled as the thing emerged from the distortion. It wasn't just big, it was monstrous, a moving fortress of flesh and metal. Broken starships were fused into its skin like bones and armor. Pieces of alien hulls jutted out, some still glowing faintly from old battles. Its mouth was a vast ring of rotating plates, grinding slowly, as if it was always chewing on something. Each rotation revealed flashes of red light deep inside. The harvester fleet around it, the black ships moved in tight formation.
Ow.
Their movements sharp and precise, like insects protecting a queen. They weren't attacking yet, but the trap was obvious now. The fleet was closing the only escape. Roots. They're pushing us toward it, Malik said, voice low. They want us swallowed, Armin added. The survivor speaks Rhea, rushed back to the alien survivor. What is that thing? Psh. The alien's eyes never left the monitor showing the maw. It is older than your son, it whispered. It is not a ship. It is a feeder, and the harvesters bring it what it needs. What it needs is humans, Rhea asked. The alien nodded slowly. Yes. Always humans first. A dark theory on the bridge, Malik ran scans. Commander, think I know why they want us. Every time they lock on to a human, their energy readings spike. Like they're getting stronger. Armin frowned. You mean? Humans are some kind of power source? Malik shook his head. Not power. Something worse. It's like they consume us, too, to change themselves. First contact with the maw, the horizon's hull sensors screamed warnings as the maw shifted. Position gravity itself bent toward it. Every loose object in the ship began to slide toward the forward bulkhead. Crew members had to grab rails to avoid being pulled off their feet. They're generating a gravity well, Armin said, sweat on his forehead. If we get too close, we can't break free. Rhea gritted her teeth. Reverse thrust. Now. The engines roared, but the ship barely moved. The pull was growing stronger. The offer then, unexpectedly, a transmission came through. Not from the black ships, but from the maw itself. A voice like grinding metal and whispering wind. Filled the bridge. Give us the humans, and the rest may leave. The crew froze. You mean me? Rhea said. All humans, on board, you will be spared. Do not delay. The Cums went dead. The breaking point, Malik turned to Rhea, pale. Commander, we can't outgun them. Good. And the maw will pull us in no matter what. They're giving us a way out. Rhea's jaw clenched. It's not a way out. It's a slaughter, just not for everyone. The alien survivor in the infirmary suddenly shouted over the comlink. They will not let you leave, even if you give them what they want. The rest of you will feed them too in time. Suspense and the maw began to open wider. Inside, rows of spinning rings accelerated, glowing hotter, each one lined with jagged tooth-like structures. From its depths came a deep, slow thrum that rattled every bone in the crew's bodies. Armin stared at the sensors. Commander, we've got less than 2 minutes before we're inside its mouth. The desperate trick, the pull of the maw, was now a physical force, pressing against every chest on the horizon. Metal groaned. Lights flickered. The stars outside seemed to bend toward that spinning ring of death. Rhea stood at the center of the bridge, eyes fixed on the monster filling the viewport. Helm, full reverse. Burn the engines until they melt. The pilot's hand shook as he obeyed. Plasma flared bright blue from the rear thrusters. But the ship still inched forward. Survivor's secret in the infirmary, the alien survivor clung to the wall, trembling. You cannot run, it said through the cum, but you can hide. For a moment, Rhea snapped. Speak clearly. There is a shadow zone beneath the maw, it explained quickly. Close to its surface. To close for the harvester. Escorts to follow? It will not see you there. Alec's voice cut in. Commander, that's insane. One wrong move and we're scrapped. Rhea didn't hesitate. Plotted. The dive, the horizon rolled sharply, diving beneath the maw's rotating plates. The crew's stomachs lurched as gravity shifted. The alien ships fired warning shots, but their beams passed wide, unwilling to risk hitting their own master. The ship slipped into the shadow where the Maw's sensors were weakest. Alarms blared, proximity warnings, hull stress, overheating engines, but for the first time in minutes, they weren't being pulled forward. The Maw reacts then. Came a deep, angry rumble. The entire Maw shifted position. It could sense something, prey hiding under its own belly. The harvester fleet split, half of them diving after the horizon, the rest circling above to cut off any escape. "We bought seconds, not minutes," Armin said grimly. The survivor's real identity, Rhea stormed into the infirmary. "Knew about this hiding spot?" she accused. "Why? Who are you really?" The alien looked at her with strange, glowing eyes. "I am not a refugee. I was a scout for the Maw. Long ago, I broke from it. I ran, and I know how to hurt it." Rhea's voice was ice. "You've got 10 seconds. Tell me." The alien leaned closer. "Its heart is a star, a caged sun. You break the cage. You kill the Maw." "The impossible." "Choice back on the bridge." Malik shook his head. "Commander, even if that's true, we'd have to get inside it to do any damage. That's suicide." Rhea looked out at the moving fortress of metal and flesh, its rings spinning faster now. Her mind raced. She could save the ship by fleeing while they still had fuel, risk everything to kill the Maw and stop it from hunting humans forever. Suspense and a deep voice returned. On comes the Maw itself.
"Your hiding is pointless.
"Give us the humans, or all will be consumed." Rhea took a slow breath and then gave an order that froze the crew in shock. "Prepare the boarding pods." The horizon floated in the Maw's shadow, engines at minimum. God. Inside the bridge, the crew worked in silence, each movement sharp and tense. They all knew what Rhea's order meant. They were going in. Malik finally spoke.
"Gotta."
"This isn't a mission. It's a funeral." Rhea didn't answer. She looked out at the massive spinning structure ahead. From this close, the Maw wasn't just metal. There were dark, organic plates that moved, like breathing skin. The launch. The boarding pods detached with a low thunk. Rhea, Malik, and 4 others were crammed into one. The alien survivor was in the second pod with a separate team. As they shot forward, the Maw loomed like a black sun, its rotating arms forming a maze of moving walls. The alien's voice crackled in Rhea's ear. "There is a maintenance shaft. Under the 12th ring, that is your way in." The entry of the pod slammed against a small docking hatch. Magnetic clamps locked in place. The moment the hatch opened, the crew stepped into darkness. The inside smelled like rust and something. It's rotten. The walls pulsed faintly as though veins ran through the metal. "Keep your helmets sealed," Rhea ordered. "No one breathes this air." The heart of the beast, they moved deeper, following. The alien's directions. Strange shapes grew from the walls. Cocoons, each big enough to hold a person. Some were broken open. Others twitched as if something inside was moving. Malik's voice was tight. "Commander, I think I know what it does with humans." One of the cocoons cracked open. Pale arm fell out. Human. The body's face was hidden in shadow, but the skin was covered in faint, glowing lines, as if the Maw had been rewriting it, to trap the corridor suddenly sealed behind them. From the shadows ahead, massive shapes emerged, 4-legged machines, their limbs tipped with blades. They didn't rush forward. They simply stood, blocking the way. Then the Maw's voice filled the air again. "You bring yourself to me, brave and foolish." The choice, the alien survivor stepped forward from the second team, holding a strange device, a cube humming with bright light. "This will crack the cage," it said, "but only if we place it at the exact center once it starts. There is no coming back." Rhea looked at her crew, stared in fear, some in silent defiance. They all knew if the Maw's core went critical, they'd never escape. Suspense and Rhea took the cube and stepped toward the waiting machines. "Then we don't come back," she said quietly. And with that, the floor beneath them opened, dropping them into the glowing depths of the Maw. "If you want, I can make Part 6 the high-intensity finale, a race against time inside the Maw's core, revealing the horrifying truth about what it does to captured humans, an ending with a twist that shocks the audience. The core of nightmares, the crew fell for what felt like forever before landing on a platform. Black metal. Below them, the Maw's heart glowed, a swirling vortex of light and shadow, pulsing like the beat of a giant heart. The air was heavy with heat and a low, bone-shaking hum. Machines moved along bridges, carrying cocooned prisoners toward the vortex, where they vanished in a flash of light. The horrible truth, Malik staggered forward, staring. It's feeding on them. The alien survivor's voice was grim. Not feeding, rewriting. The Maw strips minds, rewires bodies, and sends them back as soldiers that obey only it. Ria's blood ran cold. She looked closer inside the glowing stream. She saw human faces, their eyes blank, drifting into the light. The last mission, Ria held up the cube. Where's the center? The alien pointed to a platform across a narrow, trembling bridge. Massive blade machines guarded it. The crew moved, step by step, across the bridge. The machines watched, waiting. When they reached the halfway point, the Maw attacked. Blades swung, sparks flew. Malik took a hit to his armor, spinning over the edge, only for Ria to grab him with one hand, holding him above the void. The detonation, they reached the core platform, and the alien survivor pressed buttons on the cube and it began to glow white-hot. Once it starts, it warned, the Maw will do everything to stop us. The walls came alive. Tendrils of black metal lashed toward them. The cube's timer began to tick to 60 seconds. The final stand, the crew formed a circle around the cube, firing at the machines and slashing at the tendrils. Malik shouted over the chaos, "We're not going to make it." Ria fired her rifle until it overheated, then switched to her sidearm. "We don't have to make it. We just have to hold." The cube's glow became blinding. The floor began to crack. Psst. The alien's voice cut through the noise. "Now run. The escape. Or not." They sprinted back toward the pod launch point, the bridge collapsing behind them. The vortex screamed not a sound, but a feeling inside their bones. As they reached the edge, Ria shoved Malik into the last escape pod. The alien dove in after him. Malik reached for Ria's hand. She stepped back. "Get them home," she said, and slammed the hatch. The end or the beginning? From orbit, the horizon saw the Maw implode in a wave of white light, then vanish without a trace. Malik stared at the empty space where it had been. "Is it over?" he asked. The alien survivor's expression was unreadable. "No, that was only one Maw, and now the others will come looking." The stars ahead seemed darker somehow, as if something vast was moving in them.